Turn it up. It's The Record Machine with your host, Jimmy Hall.
Can we talk?
Nobody cares about you. Please get out my way. Nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about you. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from a rising force, guitarist Leni DiMancari to the program. What's going on, Lenny?
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Sorry, I couldn't take the call earlier. I got my time zones mixed up right in the middle of lunch. So
It's totally fine, man. I'm off today, so
That's cool. How are things?
Pretty good. We sold our house. We bought a new house, but it's being built, so we're staying in a rental house right now.
When are you supposed to take the keys?
Probably not till February.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's from the ground up, so I mean it's brand new build.
Well, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's 120 usually minimum. So 120 days, 160 days for, yeah. Wow. Yeah, but that's okay. February out there isn't as bad as February here, I don't think. Right?
No, it's like fall, by you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, February here, it's minus 19 degrees as a high, and you're chopping ice off your windshield in order to drive anywhere if your car starts. So
exactly. How's your leg doing?
Better. Actually, I've been without the boot now for 10 days. I had to put it back on Saturday at the show, but that was okay. It was pretty minimal. I took it off after about 4 hours.
Yes.
The more I walk without it, the better I am. Mm-hmm. It's definitely been a talking points memo, with people. It's like, how'd you do it? Must have had 3 bands ask me on Saturday night, how'd that happen? And I said, well, I turned to get back to center stage, and then all of a sudden it felt like I didn't have a leg.
Wow.
Like somebody hit me on the back of the leg with a hockey stick. When you get slashed when you're playing hockey?
Right.
And you get that, exact same feeling. Like somebody hit me right at the top hamstring, right where your breezers meet your shin pads. And it just went numb, and I just couldn't even stand on it. And then I found out, I tore the gastroc and the soleus tendons. So they said, 12 to 16 weeks, full recovery. I said, nice. Well,
so no surgery or anything like that,
no
right?
surgery. No
that's,
surgery.
That's good.
Yeah, and the medical girl is great. My physical therapist doctor, she's fantastic. She's been getting me to ride the bike, doing leg presses, leg weights. I started planking again, starting to get back in shape, because you get kind of sedentary sitting around with your foot up on ice all day, So
yeah, well, I'm glad that I'm glad that you're starting to heal up.
Yeah.
You got some shows probably coming up, right? That you're gonna want to move around in and stuff like that. You don't want to be restricted to a boot, I'm sure.
Well, that was the one drawback. She said I have to wear the boot or an good ankle support when we do the next 2 shows that are coming up. Mm-hmm. So there's no leg kicks or jumping off the riser or anything like that coming up in the near future. We'll see how I do next year. If I can, I think we got 4 shows left this year.
Wow.
And next month we're starting the writing process for album number 3.
Wow, that's pretty cool, because the last time I spoke to you on the air was November of 2021, and since then you put out a brand new album, Eclipse, on Dark Star Records, and you also have a brand new singer as well, David Reed Watson. Can you talk about how you got David and the album Eclipse?
Yeah. Mark came to me and kind of said, I just can't do the next record. I have so many things going on, family. I need to take some vacation time. The kids are leaving the house. We want to travel on our Harley Davidsons, and I can't be in 2 bands. And I totally understood. I've been friends with Mark for my whole career. So the other guys took it kind of hard. But then the singer from Hairball, who's a close friend of mine, Chris Vox, and I were talking, and I told him, I said, I'm looking for a new singer. And at first he said, well, I'm not going to quit Hairball. And I said, no, Chris, not you. But I know guys, because you run into guys all over the country.
Right.
And the first one he mentioned was David. And then I went and listened to David's stuff, and I went, holy cow. This guy sounds like if Dio and Coverdale and John Bush were all in the same voice, that's what I'm getting with this guy.
Right.
And the new album was purposely heavier than the last one. So he kind of fit right in. And he wasn't really sure if he could sing the Mark stuff, because Mark is more of a tenor, more of a Tommy Shaw kind of singer. But I told him, I said, just do what you want on those songs. I said, the music's your canvas. Paint what you want. And I think that put him at ease, and, he's fit right in. He's a great guy, too. Great singer. And he's got international tour experience, so he's been all over the world with Kill Ritual when they were touring with Iced Earth and several other bands. Great guy, great writer too. And then we just recently got a new drummer in July. So.
Oh yeah, who's that?
We picked up Peter Savage from the Led Zeppelin tribute band Zed Leppelin.
Oh, okay.
And he had called me a couple months before. He said, "Hey, if Lane ever quits, let me know. I want his gig." And I said, "Yeah, okay." And then Lane came to me and said, "I can't do the next couple shows. If you want to get a fill-in, I'm cool with that." And I said, "Okay." So then I called Peter and I said, "Hey, do you want to play the next couple shows with us?" He goes, "Yeah, I know your sons." I go, "Cool." And then Lane called back like 2 hours later and started yelling at me saying, "Well, if you're just going to get a fill-in, then I quit." And I went, "Okay." so I called Peter. I said, "Hey, do you want the gig?" Lane just quit. And he goes, "Yeah." And I went, "Okay." So, I mean, in the span of like 2.5 hours, I had a new drummer in like 5 minutes. So there were no auditions at all. Same thing with Dave. We didn't audition anyone because the audition process is always so weird. Mm-hmm. You put out an ad, then everyone talks a great game, but then you've really got to sift through everybody to find out who can take the field or put a glove on, right, or take bats. It was a lot easier process than in previous experiences that I've been on over the years. Mm-hmm. And Pete's just a pounder. I mean, he plays just like John Bonham, so the band's quite a bit heavier. So if we ever get to the East, I will call you and make sure you have front row for this.
Well, I'll definitely check it out. When I listened to the album, the file that you sent me, that's the first thing I thought of was like John Bush, Whitesnake. I even got like a little bit of a Deep Purple vibe in there.
Well, he's got some Gillan in him too.
Yeah.
I mean, not just Coverdale Purple.
Right.
I mean, Gillan, he even has elements of Graham Bonnet from Rainbow.
Right.
And some softness of Jolyn Turner. I mean, the guy's just versatile. I couldn't ask for a greater singer to just show up.
Right.
I mean, you search all your life to get guys like that in your band. You hope you can find one. Mm-hmm. And he just kind of like, there he was. It's just, it was a nice referral. So we owe the guys in Hairball a lot for that referral.
So now, does David sing in another band as well, or just a Rising Force for now?
No, it's just us.
Oh, that's even better.
He did an album in Europe called Alchemy Fire, and I don't know if it's been released yet or not, but he did that during the pandemic, mm-hmm, and or just prior to the pandemic, and that was in the can. And then he came back to be with his girlfriend up here in Minnesota. They were going to move to Arizona and get a house, and he was going to go back out there. Mm-hmm. And then after he heard our music, and we got to become friends, and now we've become really close friends in the band. We write together, we hang out. He's kind of stuck here, for a while.
That's awesome. He's great. This podcast is going to feature 2 tracks off this album, the single Believe and one of my favorites, Nobody Cares. What's the story behind those songs?
For each song or just the second one?
Each one.
Believe was written during the pandemic. Mm-hmm. And ironically, the video is the polar opposite of what the song is all about, but it all tied in. I was flipping channels, growing a beard like everyone else in the music industry during the pandemic.
Right.
And I came across, when you have DirecTV, you got like 900 channels, you probably watch like 15, right? Well, all the religious channels are like back to back to back to back. And every single person on the religious networks was going, "Say I believe, and they all want money, right?
Yep. So,
and then I started thinking, well, geez, couple television preachers kind of went south. It's Jimmy Swaggart, Jim Baker, a few others. Joel Osteen was investigated, and I thought, I'm going to write a song. So I started I did the song in drop D. We dropped it to drop C for the song. I started writing the lyrics, and the lyrics just came in about 20 minutes for the whole song. Because they're always looking to the sky. They're holding their hands up. They're telling everyone how great it's going to be. It's not that I'm anti-religion. I'm just anti, using God to make money.
Right. If you give me your money, we'll wash away all that sin. If you give me your money.
Yeah. give me $100 and you'll be absolved. Yeah, if it was that easy, I would have gone to confession every day at the Catholic school in high school.
Right.
So, Yeah, and then I would, here's some money. I'm good. I'm good now till what, 30? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I built up some points. Yeah, so so that's what Believe was about. So it was actually, so when we went to script out the video, I said, let's just go the polar opposite and make it as creepy and scary as we can. So we got a girl on the video bathing in blood. We have the Ouija board. We've got the demonic seance. We've got, I think the levitation scene got cut.
Right.
We've got a guy named Goatman in there, but that's an inside joke from, go look it up. It's hysterical. He's yelling at Goatman on the bridge. It's Goatman's Bridge if you want to look at it, So we went a different direction with that one. We wanted to make it a little spooky. And at the very end of the video, she wakes up from the nightmare.
Very cool.
Which is cool. So as far as Nobody Cares, that song is about every single internet a-hole out there.
And there's a lot of
anybody, anybody that, because everyone's a keyboard warrior,
Yep.
They've all got an opinion. It doesn't matter. The best ones are when, hey, I don't like your opinion, and here's why. And then they type in all capital letters and, the you suck, blah, blah, blah. It's about that. And then it's about one person in particular, too, that I originally wrote the song about that I used to be in a band with. Okay. And so he was the lead off about this song. But then David and I got a hold of the lyrics, and we crafted it into this. This could be about anybody. It could be about a politician. It could be about your next door neighbor living in their parents' basement with, at 40 and still hammering on people on their computer. Mm-hmm. That's the thing about the computer. It's like, I think Mike Tyson said it best. He said, the internet's made it so that everyone forgot what it's like to get punched in the face, So.
Well, that kid on the plane knows what it's like.
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
I laughed my ass off when I saw that. He had that coming to him.
He did, and I think he baited him, but you know what? It was nice. It's like one of those times where, it's like if you turn on, I don't care what political affiliation people are, that's great, that's your business.
Right.
But you turn on either left or right news channels, you always got one person on one of those channels that you want to smack. Only because you just get to that point because they just push and push and push. And that's how I feel about the internet. I hate the internet. I like using it as a tool as opposed to being a tool on the internet. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's like,
Now, I don't know how you feel about this, but in my opinion, I don't think it's wise for people to post on their Facebook page what their political beliefs are or to argue with people about their political beliefs and try to push it on to other people. To me, that just causes a lot of problems with a lot of people and a lot of friendships. Don't you agree?
I absolutely agree. I see, my parents raised me to say, your vote is your business, your affiliation is your business.
Right.
Now these days with, Facebook and Twitter and name it, you got it, where you can just hammer off on anything you want. Problem is that it's pretty arrogant to think that you know your audience so well that you know which side of the fence they lean on. Mm-hmm. So for me, I'm all about don't post anything political. Everybody is a person, and music is a way to get away from it, not to get involved in it. So
that's the way I see it. It's like, we listen to music to escape from all that nonsense. And now here you are, either up on stage or on your, in your Facebook page, wherever it may be, on the radio, bad-mouthing people because they don't agree with the same thing you agree with. I just think it's not good business practice.
Well, then they have to backpedal after they say something.
Right.
That's even worse. They just not say anything. I remember when Pearl Jam was getting in so much trouble for it for so many years. Right. I mean, this is nothing new. Just go listen to a Rage Against the Machine record from the 90s. Right. They hated all politicians, but it's not. You want to turn off your audience. I mean, take one side in the middle of a rock concert. Nobody cares. They just want to go to the show.
No, I hear.
There's a beautiful thing at the show I worked this weekend. There wasn't one political thing mentioned other than with working with the Guess Who, they mentioned the Queen,
Oh, okay.
Which that's fine.
That's the way it should be, though.
They're Canadian. They can do that,
like we said before, when you go to a show, you don't want to hear about that stuff. You want to escape all that and just listen to some great music.
Yes, totally agree.
On your band label's YouTube page, Dark Star Records, the video for the single "Believe" is up on there. Will there be another video for this release?
Yeah, our next single is going to be "Nobody Cares," ironically, which is the one you picked.
Wow.
We're just in the middle of pre-production on when we're going to release it. There's a lot of releases coming out right now, and our label and our people involved. It's a very pinpointed thing when they do it. They want it to hit just right, and you don't want to flood the market, which is why we put the new album out in May. So actually it was June, I think our new album came out. Wasn't it June 3rd, I think. Mm-hmm. We sat on it for 6 months again, but that's the way it is. And when you're working with a record label, you finish your record and then they pick the day that they want to push it, because they want that 6 to 8 weeks of heavy promotion. So I'm thinking in the next 2 to 3 weeks, we'll drop that single to radio, and the video should come out sometime shortly after that. And it'll be interesting, like the other videos we've done. They've all had a little different thing on each video.
Yeah,
I think Love and War was the most mildest one with our friend that was the girl that was feeling defeated in the video.
Yeah, Nobody Cares. That's my favorite one on the album. I love that one.
It's just such a true song.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, you listen to the lyrics, you just go, God, I know somebody like this. Oh, I've dealt with somebody like this.
Pompous a-hole.
Yeah, you can't get out of your own way. My favorite line that I wrote in that song was, "You're the tallest building in your sky.
Yes.
Did you ever stop to wonder why?
Yeah,
Nobody cares about you."
Yeah, that's great. I was saying that in the car when I was leaving work the other day.
Really?
Yeah, I was talking about something. I'm like, that son of a... Because I had just heard the song earlier on my way in, and I'm like, I was thinking of that line, and I repeated it to myself when I was getting into the car. And I was like... Yeah, Leni did good on that one, because this song definitely rings true for a lot of people.
I was just so bitter at the guy that I used to be in the band at, and I don't care. I'm not going to name names.
Yeah, there's a reason to.
Most of the people around here, they know who I wrote the song about, or originally penned the idea about. But he just totally attacked me for years. And I took the high road, because you know what? It's better to take the high road, because things fade out, You might be today's news story, and then they're on to something else within 24 to 48 hours. They don't care. So nobody cares. It's just a running theme. But I thought, okay, well, what are all the most clever things I can put up here? A pompous little asshole. We had to change that so that our radio-friendly safe harbor stations will actually play the song during the day, right. Which doesn't make sense to me, because remember when they played 1 in a Million by Guns N' Roses? And,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
they said every word in the book.
They got away with murder for how many years in classic rock radio with The Who,
Uh-huh.
But, because we're so proficient at how we've said it, I said, okay, is it because we're attacking somebody, or is it we're not describing something that everyone knows that it is? Okay, whatever. Maybe. But you listen to your record label, and the legal department tells you, hey, you may have to do this. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, you don't want to offend people that identify as an asshole when you say that in the song.
No,
you know what I mean?
I know. Because God help us if we offend somebody these days. You know what I tell people? Hey, life's hard. Get a helmet.
Exactly. Exactly.
Not everything is puppies and kitties every day in your euphoric little world. Knock it off.
Ice cream and pink unicorns.
little cherubs floating down from the clouds, creating economic prosperity and happiness for you because you're sad. Go away. Sorry, I don't want to sound like a dink in the interview, but this is, you and I have always, our last interview was kind of like this, like two friends hanging out, just talking,
Your single "Believe" spent several weeks on the Billboard Top 200 and charted in five different chart positions. What's it like to hear
that was cool. That was cool. Yeah.
What's it like to hear that or read that, I should say?
I was shocked, honestly. I thought it was a great song, and I love our new record. I love the old record too, but this record I love. But to see that we, broke the 200, and I think we got as high as 151, maybe a little. I'd have to look, but I think as high as 151. It's been a really banner year for our record label too. They've had several artists on the roster that have broken Billboard's top 200, and a couple of them have broken the top 50 as well. So our label has been, I think being affiliated with Sony and Universal has helped out quite a bit for our band and all the bands. But yeah, it's a really great feeling to get there. You dream about. I don't know if you dream about it. Maybe you do. Mm-hmm. You hope that you're going to have a big hit, right? And you want to sell records, you want to tour, and to break 200, yeah, I was happy with that. Everybody was ecstatic in the band.
Yeah. Moved on like 5 different chart positions over the several weeks, right?
I think it was 8 or 9 weeks we were on Billboard, yeah.
That's very cool.
I think it fell out of the 200 on the 9th week. But still, and the first chart position was the week before the album came out. So that means people picked up on the single right away, And ironically, and then Loudwire, I think we were number 35 on Loudwire Best New Songs as Loudwire's pick, too. So, yeah, out of the gate in June, it was really nice. Plus, we had that momentum going out when we went out with Tesla and Warrant and Firehouse and Kicks. So we had some nice momentum this summer. It was great.
You mentioned that you played with all these artists over the summer. What's it like getting back out on the stage and seeing all the fans and playing with such great artists?
It was fantastic up until July 21st. Then that day it wasn't really super fantastic. But up to that point, we even shared the stage with Keel, who helped us get our first record deal with Highball Music. The guys in Tesla are fantastic. Guys in Warrant are great guys. Guys in Firehouse are like old friends. They play in Minnesota quite a bit. I think I've known Bill and CJ probably a couple dozen years. And it's the first time. Bill and I for years have been saying, yeah, we need to get our bands together on stage. And he goes, well, call our agent. I said, well, I'll call our agent and we'll get it done. And we just happened to land at the same county fair together. So, which was a lot of fun to be out there with those guys.
Didn't you play with Collective Soul as well?
Yeah, they were on the Moondance bill. It was us and Collective Soul, Brett Michaels, Tommy DiCarlo from Boston. We're visiting Creedence. I think they're the remaining members of Creedence Clearwater Revival without John Fogerty. Mm-hmm. Who else was on the bill? Daughtry.
Very cool. He was in Myrtle Beach last week or 2 weeks ago, something like that.
What a powerful show he's got.
Yeah, he's a great singer. Great
singer, decent guy, easy to work with. So yeah, it was a great summer for us. I'm very grateful for all the wonderful opportunities that were given to us this year.
And it's not over yet. You mentioned earlier that you have a couple of shows left. Can you talk about those shows that are coming up?
Well, we're teaming up with our mates Buzzard, who are also on the 1013 roster. Mm-hmm. And we try to do 3-4 shows together a year because they're all friends of ours. So we're playing Friday night at Bogart's in Apple Valley. It's a big room. It holds about, I think, 12 or 1,500. Mm-hmm. There's reserve seating, and then there's GA. Last time we played there, we sold it out. It'll be the first time for us and Fuzzard. And then the following night, we're playing the Fairmont Opera House with Fuzzard, and I think that will be sold out by the time we hit the stage. So it's been pretty cool. I would love to sell out of merch for this year and dump a lot of the remaining CDs so we can get ready for the next batch for next year's tour. Wherever that takes us, it would be nice. I know that we've been working on a show to go to Okinawa and mainland Japan for next spring.
Wow.
I'll keep you posted on that one. We got offered to go do one of the military base shows, for the troops, for the stationed ones.
That would be kick-ass.
Yeah, that's another one of the bucket list things. I had an opportunity to go to Japan with my old band in the early 90s, and I couldn't because I had 2 sick kids. And at the time, we were going to go out with Kingdom Come, and I can't remember the other band that was out there, but it was with Kingdom Come to go to Japan. So
wow, what else is on your bucket list?
I don't know. I got it. got one of my bucket list things this year. I finally bought an RV, and I converted it into the band bus.
Wow.
So, yeah, the missus was okay with it until I drove it home with the ARF logos all over it. And she kind of went, really? And I said, it's a write-off, honey. She goes, really? I said, yeah, it's a write-off.
So they wrapped the bus or they painted it?
They wrapped most of it, and then what we did is we were looking for a corporate sponsor to overwrite the rest of the wrapping.
Uh-huh.
And then we would carry the corporate sponsor for the whole year to 2 years out on the road. So when we traveled, then you get a lot of high visibility for it, too. You know?
Isn't it really cool how they can make a car look like it was painted by just wrapping it with like a tape almost?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Steve's did a bang-up job on ours. And when you see our bus from the back, you see our logo is as big as a billboard. Well, you know, a smaller billboard, but it's the back of a bus. So
Right.
you can't help but see that from the highway. And then when we're pulling into into events, we're wrapped on the front, too, with our logo as well. So we kept it kind of stationed on the side, so it still looks kind of homey on the side. We didn't, but, you know, it says a lot. It says you're serious and you're here to work, you know. So we pull up. We never have trouble getting into the gate event, you know, when they see our logo on the front of our bus. It doesn't say private or charter.
Right.
So, yeah, that was cool. I always wanted one, and I've been shopping, and then I found the one I wanted, and then she found the one she really liked, and of course, Mama wins, so she got the 35-footer, and I wanted the 28-footer.
Uh-huh. Well, hey,
I
that's
decided
cool,
it'd be
though.
easier to store it somewhere when it was 28 feet. Trying to find some place to store a 35-foot bus is challenging, especially in Minnesota, but I got a lead. You know.
So I'll take that you prefer driving by vehicle instead of flying to destination shows.
We haven't had a chance to do any fly-ins yet, but we have sat down and discussed having fly rigs as backup rigs that we could ship or carry with us. All the bands I deal with in my other job, they all fly in. Most of them fly in. There are very few ground tours now. So everyone, like I say, I worked with the Guess Who and Foghat this weekend. I think we shipped 28 pieces total for both bands to be sent via air back. So, and, you know, they trust it, so we can trust it too. A couple guys fly with a couple of their instruments. A lot of the guys I work with these days are using Kemper profilers, or they're using Axe Effects or Axe 8s, or I think Bill was showing me his AX3. Everything's just built right into a board, so you have all your sounds right there. More and more, I think it's so much easier, and then you've got your tone every single show, you know. So you just bring a 1 terabyte hard drive with you in case it crashes, reboot it within about a minute, and there you are. You know? So I like it because these Marshalls I have are getting as heavy as me.
Wow, very cool. Now, you mentioned earlier that you're working on some material for the next album already. When can we expect another album?
I would really like to stay on point and get it out by June, of next year. I think we like to stay focused and keep writing. I mean, Bill's a great writer. Did I mention we got another guitar player in the band too? I don't know if I did that.
No, you didn't.
Gosh, well, yeah, since the first album, David doesn't play a lot of rhythm guitar, and Mark used to, and he played lead. Dave just wanted to be a singer, so we actually hired another guitar player, and his name's Billy Schlump. He had just left his other band. Not even 24 hours later, I said, hey, you want to come and try out for us? And he's been in the band ever since, and he's a great writer. He plays more like a Nuno Bettencourt, Van Halen, Kristen Pelletieri, Marty Friedman, Jason Becker kind of guitar player.
Nice.
But very fluent, and I'm more old school. I like the old school players, Dave Minichetti, John Norum, John Sykes. So our styles actually blend really well together. But he's a great writer. He actually wrote one of the songs on the album called Trail of Tears. When we first got together, he and I wrote Say Goodbye together in my basement. in about an hour. David brought Star to the band, a song he wrote during the pandemic. That's become a pretty, regionally people really like that song. It was nice because you can tell if your album's doing okay. Because you go out and you look out in the audience and people are singing lyrics to your songs. Man, that just makes it all worthwhile.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So back to the initial question. Yeah, I'd like to have another one out by June, July.
Awesome.
So we stay focused.
Now, you said you wanted to try to sell out all the merch and the music by the end of the year. Do you have a website you'd like to promote?
They can order shirts and CDs right from arisingforceband.com. Just click on the merch link. It'll take you right to the Dark Star website where you can buy the CDs or you can buy the shirts. The advantage of going to our merch store is you can pick out a hoodie, a zip-up, a pullover, female, male T-shirts, 2 different tour designs that we had this year, and they ship it within 24 to 48 hours. So that's the advantage. What we have left, I don't think we have. We blew through a lot of merch this year, especially out with Tesla. I think we actually did a reorder while we were on the bus going to our next gig with Tesla because we sold out the night before. Wow. A lot of people like the merch design.
That's awesome.
Our red, white, and blue skull is outselling our blue skull. Not by much, but enough to where we had to reorder another 300 shirts. So we just wanted enough for the rest of the summer. I think we have maybe 100 or so left of this year's tour shirt.
Nice.
Which will be a collector's item, unless they keep it on file for next year. And then I don't think we have that many hard copies of our CD left. Probably less than 400. We've sold over 1,000 already.
Nice.
So, and I don't know what the sales are online for our record. I'm assuming they're good. So I haven't seen anything. I got a BMI check the other day. That was pretty cool. Another thing that's kind of neat.
Yeah.
I haven't had a BMI check for 30 years, and all of a sudden you get one. You just go, hey, look at that. That's cool.
Oh, where'd that come from?
Yeah. Well, I wasn't expecting that, Wasn't a ton of money, but it is what it is. It all helps.
Is there anything you'd like to mention that we didn't talk about today?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think we've covered quite a bit. I'm glad you like the new record.
No, I love it.
It's a lot different than the first album. I will say that.
Different's good though.
I like it. I think it's a progression, And that Mark killed it on the first record. Dave came in and killed it on this one, and I'm looking forward to doing album number 3. I don't know what we're going to call it yet. We probably have 4 or 5 songs that are in the fetus stages right now to get started with. I'd like to go into this album with 12 to 15 and then pick the best 10. There's enough writers in the band where I think all of us can give a lot of input, and that's the cool thing about our band is everybody writes. I'll bring an idea, or Dave will bring an idea, Bill will bring an idea, and then we all build on it. Sometimes I'll bring a finished song, and then we'll even change it there, because I think everybody has to have an input. Because if everybody has an input, then everybody feels just as important as the other guy. That's the way we approached our publishing too. We just split it amongst all of us. One guy doesn't get more than the other guy. I've just seen too many bands fight, break up, and show a lot of animosity towards other band members because they felt that their part was just as important as the other. And that's the way I've always felt. You don't have much of a song if you don't have a drummer. You know? And if you don't have a bass player that's contributing, well, nobody likes free bass or air bass. So, but yeah, it's a great bunch of guys, I wish our former members nothing but success in whatever they do. I hold no animosity towards former members except that one guy. That's it. So,
well, like you said before, you can't hold on to stuff like that. It's not going to make anything better at this point.
No, let it go. Take the high road. Move on. Life's too short.
Yep, it's not worth it.
Be a good human. That's the only advice I have for people. There's too many bad humans out there. Be the example. Don't be the bad example or the bad apple.
Totally agree with you on that one. Well, Lenny, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show today and chatting with me about this great album. And
thank you.
You're welcome. I'm looking forward to hearing the next one. Every one you put out, it's just as good as the one before, and I'm sure the next one's going to be even killer. You know.
It's pretty heavy. I will say that. There's a few songs on here that are pretty heavy. Yeah, I want to see us keep progressing. You can never be afraid to take risks or chances. You know what I'm saying? I mean, take a risk, change it up, try a song 3 or 4 different ways, and then find the one that seems to work the best, right? That's our goal, you know? Like a song like Shame on the Eclipse record, that song took shape about 5 different ways before it came out to where it is now. And that's the way it is with all of them, you know? Again, equal input, great result, you know?
Exactly. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing it, and when that's ready to drop, I would love to have you back on the show again.
Well, that'd be awesome. Maybe Dave and I could do it together.
That would be cool. We could do it, probably Zoom it in, and then I'll just
Sure.
use the audio though. I don't post video. Shows,
That's good, because us old-looking guys probably don't want to be too much on camera anymore.
Yeah, you don't have to get dolled up and do your.
Don't want to be
hair for
looking
this
like a cotton top playing, you know, Shuff down in Orlando with Mildred and Agnes going, in my day,
Yeah.
we were playing Motley Crue. Yeah, I don't want to be doing that.
Right. You don't even have to get, you don't have to do your hair or anything like that or put on your makeup.
No,
You'll
well,
be
what's
fine.
left of it, yeah.
We'll just add the audio part, I mean,
That's cool. I'll go with audio only. Thanks.
you know.
What a pleasure. Always great to talk to you. Again, it feels like we've known each other forever, James. You know,
Well,
it's
absolutely.
just one of those interviews I look forward to every time we get an opportunity to do it. So
I always
thank
look
you
forward,
very much.
You're welcome. I always look forward to talking to you too. You're like a brother to me,
Cheers. Awesome.
Well, buddy, let's stay in touch, and I'll talk to you soon, all right?
All right. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you.
All right, bye-bye.
See you.